Hello Spectres, welcome to another First Descendant video. This time we'll be covering the one-woman army, Gley. As per our usual format, I'll be breaking down abilities, then going over a build, then giving my thoughts on the character near the end. Before we begin, make sure to leave a like and comment down below and what you think about Gley so far. Just a reminder, this game is still in beta, so things covered in this video might change on the final release. On to her abilities. Her first ability, Frenzied, which changes Gley into a rampage state, or as I call Super Saiyan mode. This turns increased damage output to weapons as well as gives an increase in penetration, which gives abilities to shoot through enemy shields, which typically gives you immune markers. This also reduces recovery. This toggle feature will affect the other abilities. The second ability, Life Siphon, does an AoE burst that any enemies hit within a burst gives HP recovery, and this scales with the number of enemies hit. In a frenzied state, damage is increased and scales based off how low the HP bar is. In the unfrenzied state, grants vigor and reduces incoming damage. For the third ability, Sensory, when in frenzied state, Sensory grants unlimited magazine for a short while and reduces movement, while in the non-frenzied state starts generating HP at the fixed intervals. For the passive Thirst, there's a chance that a life sphere will drop after killing an enemy, which gets added to the bar below the abilities. This also means that Gley does not have any shields or MP. This stacks features will affect the fourth ability, which I'll cover in. For the fourth ability, or the super, is called Massacre. Changes the current equipped weapon to massacre the weapon. The amount of bullets are based off how many stacks you are able to obtain, as mentioned earlier from the passive. Within a frenzied state, the damage of Massacre is increased, and more off based on how low the HP bar is. And in the non-frenzied state, enemies are stunned. Now for weapons, running with what you want, but make sure they are high damage dealing, since Gley's way of dealing damage is through weapons and not abilities. For reactors, go with the materialized set, because it will give you a buff to skill damage as well. Since Gley doesn't deal any elemental damage, in general, we'll give a plain skill buff increase. For mods, it's up to you on how you want to build her, but since Gley does not have any MP bar and no damage skills, we'll be focusing mainly on HP and defense mods for this build. To start off with, I'm using the short sword mod, but any orange card will do because it gives a boost in capacity as a whole. Next, I'll be using Nimble Fingers and skill cost optimized to get our cooldowns down. I'll be using skill cost support mainly for the skill costs, but have extra healing is nice. All the other mods I'm using are to increase HP and defense. There's technically no rotation, since it's basically just pop Frenzy and you're off to the races with weapon damage buff, and then turn it off, pop increase Sensory if you need to heal up. You can weave in Life Siphon if you're surrounded by enemies, then pop Massacre if you have enough life orb stacks. Basically, it's up to your weapons and how much ammo you can get. If you made it this far in this video, thanks for watching. I'll be going into my thoughts about Gley, so if you're here for the build, thanks for watching, and make sure to leave a like before you go. I really don't have much to say about Gley because she's just a weapon buffer and can survive in-game content. She's very solid with bosses that I've countered in the beta so far, but the reason I don't like her is because I prefer to pop abilities rather than send bullets down range, so there's nothing mechanic-wise that makes her bad for me. Just like Bunny, I feel she's solid as is and doesn't need a nerf or a buff. Well, there we go. Have fun running with this Super Saiyan weapon buffing machine. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.